Okay, T.B.Photo X1.5 TFX, and welcome back to another video. Well, this time I'm just sitting and looking through a book about the photographers of Rolling Stone magazine. About some of the names that are featured in this book is Anne Leibovitz and Barry Waltman. Let's see here. I think that there's a whole heap of brilliant photographers mentioned in this book. I think even David Bailey is mentioned in this one, but the majority I think is Anne Leibovitz actually. I think she has a masterclass as well that I might check out in the future maybe. But anyway, well, this is really interesting because I was out this day. It has been superb weather. We're in the middle of May 2020. Yes, we all know what the world is like and that we all need to pull our part in it to combat the situation we are in now globally, should be pointed out to no avail or to all extents and purposes. But anyway, I had a little bit of an idea in the back of my mind that I have had in the works for a couple of weeks, that I thought that might be an interesting prospect. But as you can see here, I have the D700 on the table with a little bit of a adapter on it, so that will give you a hint towards it. Maybe also the title of this video might also hint towards it. If you all remember, for a couple of years ago, we went through what can only be described as the bokeh craze. Well, you know, the type of deal, and now I might be quoting regular car reviews, but my background's blurry background. No, my background's blurrier background. My background's blurry background. My background's blurry background. My background's the blur. See, it's blurry. It's blurry. The entire frame is blurry. It's blurry background. It's bokeh. Well, that was the mentioning of the times. The word that became synonymous with all photographers, probably no matter the genre you were into. It was blurry backgrounds or bokeh or bokeh, the bokeh craze. So I thought that, yeah, it's a little bit passé maybe now, but anyway. A lot of it was about using a lens that was f2.8 or faster. Well, I would say that it also was one particular brand, an old brand that people started to snatch up at flea markets and so on, that became synonymous for a long period with the very blurry bokeh and even the fabled, I would have to say, soap bubble bokeh. So I thought I would just take up the old bag and see what... That sounded a little bit wrong, but anyway, let's see what we have here. Let's see which one we're gonna start with. I have it here somewhere. Well, made in the USSR, this little 50mm lens. I can't remember it's written in Cyrillic on it, but it's the 50-2. It's a 50mm 3.5 lens that I used a lot during my time out now. It's a little pancake lens. Brilliant little piece of kit. I'm gonna put the real name in the description and so on. It can really give you a really brilliant bokeh, and it's a great lens all around. Its sharpness is very good all around. Next, this was basically the king. Everybody who wanted soap bubble bokeh all gravitated towards this lens, the Meyer-optik görlitz, made in East Germany, 135mm f2.8. This one I have talked about in a previous video many years ago, but it had just been sort of sitting collecting dust in my lens cabinet, and I thought I wanted to take a look at what it can really do, and it didn't disappoint one bit. Another one that I found at a flea market that I just bought because I knew the brand name and so on, and I wanted the focal length that this is. It's a traditional portrait focal length. I didn't use it that much, unfortunately, when I was out this time, but it's the Meyer-optik görlitz Telemegor f5.5 180mm lens. So as you can see, they're quite the same size actually. The front element of the 180 is a little bit further forward with comparison to the 135. Then it was the first lens that I actually bought on a flea market that I found. I didn't know what it was when I bought it and so on. I just thought it looked cool and that it was adaptable to Nikon. The Meyer-optik görlitz Orestegor f4 200mm lens. I mean, this one as well I used a little bit today, and the resulting images that this actually managed to give you is really something else. But the one that I actually used the most of the time, because I found a little bit of a bird scene that I just knew I had to take some images of, it is the Meyer-optik görlitz Telemegor f5.5 250mm lens. I mean, these were the four lenses. I'm just gonna put this back. These were the four lenses that, or five lenses I should say, that I brought during this little day walk out and about. And the image quality that I could get with these really old lenses, I mean, they're made for full frame, they're made for 35mm film photography. So on the D700 they really came into their own right, and with the D700 being full frame and it's a 12 megapixel camera and adaptable, so you can use non-CP lenses or non-CPU lenses on this camera. It really gave me the opportunity to really use these lenses and show the potential they have into creating images that, in a modern day setting and so on. And I was blown away when I started to edit these lenses in Lightroom 6. They actually gave me things that I never thought were possible. I mean, keep in mind that they are old, so things that you will see in these images, you will see vignetting. The 250 had enormous vignetting when you're focusing close up with it. They have distortion, they have barrel distortion, they have this swirly background that I know that a lot of these lomography Petzval designs are famous for having. And you will see a lot of all of these things that in modern lens designs people are trying to engineer out of the image, like as stated, chromatic aberration, distortion, and vignetting and so on. But these ones, you get a style. I think it was not David Bailey, but Brian Duffy that put it like this: if it's a one-time deal, it's a mistake. If it is a continuous pattern, it's a style. And with these ones, I can definitely say it is a style. But anyway, I will give you a little bit of a B-roll because I did bring the Panasonic action cam for this one, so you will see a little bit about when I was out and about and the images and the settings that I chose to take. So it is a little bit here around in Uppsala, since we are in the way we are today with the COVID-19 crisis. We're not really supposed to travel further distances, so yeah, just to see what's around in my backyard, so to speak, or really my new hometown. And yeah, as stated, brilliant lenses, old but reliable. These will last my lifetime and the next generation's lifetime, no question about that. They are all significant in the way that Meyer-optik görlitz, all of these lenses are, to my knowledge, or the majority of them, were based on old Carl Zeiss designs. And Carl Zeiss, as you know, Sony uses them quite a bit nowadays. They have their own brand that they do, Carl Zeiss, that they do for other camera manufacturers. As stated, Sony uses them extensively. My Sony Handycam that is filming me right now has a Carl Zeiss variable aperture zoom lens built into it. And of course we can't forget Hasselblad, the king of all medium format film cameras, good enough for NASA. They only exclusively more or less used Carl Zeiss designed lenses, so there is something to say about it. So these are all based on old Carl Zeiss designs, or very early Carl Zeiss designs, some of them. I can't vouch for each one of these 5 lenses, but to my knowledge they're well, if you know out there in YouTube, I put it in the comment section below which Meyer-optik, görlitz lenses and so on that used Carl Zeiss designs, because after the Second World War, when Germany was split into East and West, some of Carl Zeiss plants got in the West, or in the East, so to speak, and that meant that the Warsaw Pact could make reproductions of Carl Zeiss optics. So that's a little bit of the backstory, because these Meyer-optik görlitz, some of them, they're all stapled with made in DDR or German GDR, the German Democratic Republic. So yeah, I think that's a little bit of me ranting on for now, and yeah, I will probably leave you as per usual with a little bit of a image gallery and some B-roll from when I was out today taking images with these lenses on a full frame digital camera. So basically M42 plus Nikon FX equals BOKHE. But anyway, I will see you all in the next video. So as always, this is Tobias Bergstrom from T.B.Photo X1.5 to FX, and please like, share, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. And as always, take care all of you, and do your part in this global pandemic that we unfortunately still am working through as a planet, I would probably say. So all the best to you, and hope you're all doing well. So take care from now on. Bye.